Hi, Dave.
Hi, Alexi. Thanks for having me back.
Yeah. Please tell us a few words about yourself. Well, maybe without repeating too much what you last said. I imagine some people haven't seen your previous demo, so maybe for
Right.
those who didn't see it, maybe you can tell us a few words about yourself and then tell us a few words about the tool you wanted to show us.
Yeah, sure. So my name's Dave, and I'm from InfuseAI. We're a company out of Taiwan, and we make software and projects related to the machine learning and data workspace. So last time I was on, I demoed Crane, which is a container image piece of software for modifying container images, Docker container images and stuff like that. And then I think you had one of my colleagues on who demoed Prime Hub, which is our end-to-end
Yes,
machine learning platform. I think he came on and demoed
exactly.
that. So it's the third time we've been on, so I'm glad to be back. Yeah, at InfuseAI, my job's technical advocate. So I do a lot of different stuff. It's a diverse role. I could be doing technical writing or getting involved in marketing and customer support. So lots of different kind of things. It's a great role to be in, actually. So last time our main product was Prime Hub, which is the machine learning platform. And we're actually working on something new at the moment, which is PipeWriter, which is a data profiling and data quality tool. But actually, I'm here to demo something else, a third thing, which is going to be our versioning control software.
I'll have to invite you one more time, I guess.
Yeah, well, I'll see if I can get one of the developers to
You're
come on next
pretty
time.
productive, right?
Yeah, we've got a great
As a
team.
company.
We've got a really good team, and it's a great place to work. So
Okay.
ArtiVC is what I wanted to show today. Now it's it's AVC or ArtiVC. It stands for Artifact Version Control, and it was first created with the idea of version control for machine learning data sets. But as the project kind of progressed, we kind of it can be used for versioning anything really, from like straight up backup, data backup, machine learning projects, data set management, stuff like that. So it's kind of whatever you want to use it for. It's just a great piece of versioning software. So you're probably thinking, why do we need another version control? We've got Git, we've got DVC and stuff like that. So the idea we had with AVC was to create something simple. So with Git, you need a server. You've got GitHub or something like that. With DVC, you need to learn two sets of commands. You've got the Git commands and the DVC commands. So with AVC, the idea was to make it simple. So you can install it with Brew. It's very easy to install. And it's just one app. There's no back end. You can just install it and then you can make a repo anywhere. So it could be on the local file system, which is what I'm going to demo today. It could be on SSH on another computer in the network. We support SSH. And then also we support S3, Azure, and also there's an integration with rclone. So rclone has about 40 different backends. So through on rclone, an integration with rclone, we can also access those.
Or what is that?
Um, it was rclone is a piece of software for cloning, kind of like a backup software. I'll share my, I've got a link here to the documentation that explains about it, but rclone is another piece of software. It's not our software, but through rclone, we can access all of the backends that they support.
It's O clone?
rclone, the letter
Ah,
rclone, sorry. So I'll send you the link actually in the chat. Hold on. So this one here. So that's a link to our documentation. You can probably leave a link in the YouTube comments. But they
well,
support a ton of backends, and through that software, we can access their stuff as well. But I'll be demoing the just a straight up local file system today. So shall I share my screen then and get on with the demo?
yes, please. I really want to see it.
All right, great. Let me share my screen. So I'm going to share this portion over here. So I've got kind of a blank folder left here. So we have AVC has a concept of a workspace. So what I'll do here is it's a blank folder here, nothing in here. This is the folder in Finder, and then this is the same folder opened on the command line. So you can see that it's a completely empty folder. There's nothing in here. So let me just initialize the folder. So AVC init. I've already installed via Brew, by the way. As I said, it's very easy to install. So I'm going to initialize this particular folder. This is going to be my workspace where I'm going to do putting my data, cleaning my data and stuff. So I'll just initialize this folder, and I'm going to attach it to a repo, which I'm going to put in this folder here. So basically what I've done is I've basically told AVC that this current directory is now a workspace, and that allows us to use certain commands related to AVC, which I'll show you in a moment. But let me just look at the config here. So AVC config, so you can see now the repo URL has been set to the
So
folder.
it's like in Git, the equivalent would be Git remote, right? So you're kind of setting the remote here.
Exactly, yeah. So I'm basically saying, yeah, that's where the data is going to be stored in the repos over there. Yeah. So at this stage, if you were using SSH or let me pull over the where's the getting started page here. So let me just see. So if you were configuring a workspace anywhere else, so this is what I've just done. I've initialized the workspace on my local file system, but you could also use an SSH host or S3 if you had that installed as well. Google Cloud and Azure is the same method for wherever you were going to store the repo. So I'm going to be kind of doing a hypothetical computer vision project now. So imagine we were going to be managing images and cleaning images for a computer vision project. So let me drag something into the data set here. I've got a folder full of cats. And it's very easy now. So as I said, we've made a workspace. Now we can push this data from this workspace into the repo. So all I've got to do is AVC push, give it a note here. So I'll just say unprocessed data. Now that's been pushed.
You don't need to commit it first, right?
No, that's it. It's just this is the concept of a commit is essentially it's a push. When you push data, it creates the commit for you. So we've got a commit already happened. We've added those 50 images of cats up to the repo. So we have something called a tag as well. So you can easily manipulate commits via a tag. So let me just quickly tag it. So I'll just say this is version 0.1 of the data set. So now that's been tagged. So in a machine learning project, if you're going to be doing computer vision, you're probably going to want to clean the data set. So let me just grab some unwanted data here. So I'll grab some of these illustrations of cats and get rid of them. So I'll just chuck them in the trash. So we should have 46 items here. So we've done some data cleaning. I'll say, okay, we want to push the data set up now. We've cleaned the cats data set. Let me push that up, make another commit. And again, I can tag it. So AVC tag, let me give it another tag. Tag can be anything here. I'm just calling it version 0.x for convenience. So that's the data set tag. Now we've got 2 commits in the repo now. So we can use the AVC diff command to see the difference. So if I just do AVC diff, and I'll use the tags to reference the commits. So the difference between version 1 and 2 now is that we've deleted these 4 images. And of course, we've got the annoying DS_store file here. So I'll quickly use the avcignore file to ignore that. And then if I do another push, ignore, yeah, we can see that the DS_store file is deleted and the avcignore file was added. So we've got all the standard things you'd expect from a version control. So I'll just quickly add some more data. So we've got a little bit more to play with. I'm going to put some dogs in. So let me do AVC push. Dogs.
So I guess it was a design choice not to have commit, right? Just to push immediately.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I'll get into the kind of nuts and bolts of that in a bit, but it's the way that it works is that it's almost like a rsync. It's almost like a file sync with commits on top, which are when you push the data, it makes the commit. I mean, the repo is the single source of truth for the data. It's not the workspace. So you don't commit to the workspace and then push that to the repo. The repo is
SVN was doing that.
Right.
Oh, that was so long ago that I used SVN last time.
Right. Which tag are we up to now? Version 0? Did I do version 0? Did I tag?
Yeah, you tagged 2.
Let me see. I'll show you the log now. Okay, so I didn't tag. So let me just actually, so this is the view of the log essentially. I was going to show this in a minute, but I'll show it now. So here's a list of the commits and the tags and the notes that I added. So let me tag the tag. I'm not sure how to tag a commit by commit reference. Okay, anyway, I can't remember. I need to check the documentation. Let me just tag the latest version, which is the added dog. So AVC tag, and I'll just call it. It's actually version 4, isn't it? So yeah. So right. So we've got diff. We've AVC ignore, push, tag. Okay, we've seen the log here. So obviously, when you've got a bunch of data like this, you're going to want to check out a version. So, you know, that's standard thing. And so you've got AVC push, and then we've also got pull. So I'm going to pull down version 0.1, which is the version of the data set with the unprocessed cats in it. So let me just pull that version down. So you'll see the cats folder has gone back to 50 items in it. So we got our 50 cats back. But you're probably thinking, why is the dog folder still here? And the interesting thing about AVC is that it won't delete local data unless you specifically say that you want to do that. You've got to explicitly say, I want to delete any local data. So if we wanted to get a pure version of version 0.1, we could add the, we would have to add the delete tag like this. But I'll do a dry run first just to show you. So it's a useful thing, the dry run. So we can see here, if we were going to pull down the earlier version of the data set, then we'd lose all of the dogs in the data set. So it's kind of a conscious thing. You need to say, I want to get this data set, and I don't care about anything else that I've added since that particular commit, or since the last time I did a push, say. So if we delete the dry run, you'll see that it pulls down. Obviously the data's still here, but it's deleted the dogs folder. And that's, I think it's an interesting way to think about it, but I think it's useful in that you might say, you know, I've added all this data to the data set, and then I deleted cats here, but I didn't want to delete those cats. I want them back in the data set. So then you could just check out version 0.1, add the cats back, and then the dogs would still be there. And then you could make a brand new push with a brand new commit. So it's kind of an interesting way to think about managing your data. The idea is that you can literally just be pushing, you know, dumping lots of data in there, making commits, playing with the data, as you usually do with a, you know, a machine learning project for this kind of use case.
I'm just wondering, how does the workflow look like? Maybe this is something you want to show later. Then
yeah, we will.
You want to show it, right?
Yeah. Well, basically, the best thing to do probably is we have a bunch of use cases on the website here. So we've got a data backup use case, which kind of runs through, you know, how you might use that for a backup, versioning your backup data for backup. Then what I'm doing here is kind of running through the data set preparation use case. And then there's one here for machine learning experiments. And this one kind of uses, you know, DVC, you put everything in one data set. And it has kind of a very rigid structure, but here kind of we've got a mix of a couple of repositories. I think one's for models and one's for the data set here, and how you might save your artifacts up to a data set. So I would probably advise, you know, AVC is very flexible. So I'd probably say anyone who's interested, go to the documentation here. It's ArtiVC.io, excuse me, and check the use cases and see how it can fit into what you're doing. I think the main thing about it is the simplicity, really. It's, you know, you just install via brute, and then, you know, right away you can just make it a repo anywhere. There's really no overhead or server required or any complex things. It's kind of very versatile in that respect.
I'm just wondering, let's say I want to train this cats versus dogs model, right? So how does the workflow look like? Let's say I want to train my model on a specific version of data. Do I clone this to a folder, to a separate folder, and then train my model there? Let's say, maybe another example, I want to train two models, one with version 1 data and one with version 2. Like, how do I?
Right, good question. And I can get to that question right now. Let me just put the air conditioner back on because it's very hot here in Taiwan. Right. So what we just demoed here was was a workspace. So we've said you create a workspace and that gives you access to the push and pull commands. But a great thing about AVC is that you don't actually need to connect to a repo and make a workspace. You can grab the data without having to go through that step, which is what, which could be the use case that you just mentioned. So let me just make it another.
I just want to pull data of specific version, then train my model, and then forget about this data. And then maybe in a parallel process, I want to pull a different version of data to a different folder and then run another thing.
Exactly right. So we've made a brand new folder here. There's nothing in here. And what I know there's already a repo which exists in the folder we just created. So I can use the get. We also have a get and push command. So there's put and pull, push and pull, sorry, and then get and put. So it's a little bit it's still a new tool and we're still working out, what's the best way to think about these concepts. But at the moment, this is, what we got. So I know where there's a data set. So I can use the get command here. So I'm going to say, let's get, I think I have to specify the output directory here. So AVC get, I'm going to output into this directory and I want to get a version from the data set which we just made. What was it, repo? I can specify a version here. So let's just get version, let's get the processed cats, which was version 0.2, wasn't it? So there we've pulled out a version of cats and it will be it's the version 0.2 and we have not had to make a workspace here. So if I did AVC push, I'm going to say it's not possible to do that because it's not a workspace. So if you were having multiple products, multiple projects, and people wanted to kind of grab versions of the data set and use them for different projects or make a new project.
Yeah, that's exactly what I had in mind. This is exactly the scenario I had. Like I imagine that, let's say you have a job, I don't know, in your CI/CD or whatever, somewhere. You don't want to do clone there, like to have the entire index.
Yeah, you don't want
right?
Exactly. You want to just grab one version of the data and use it somewhere else. So we do have a clone actually. So delete those cats. AVC clone, and I can what's going on here? AVC clone. Why aren't you working? Let me see.
Maybe you just need to create a new directory.
It should just clone into the directory I'm in now. Maybe it's because we're not. See, I'll probably just do dataset 3. Dataset 3 and CD dataset 3. All right. Make it in here and just be easy. And then AVC clone. Okay, so we've cloned. Basically, AVC clone would do. It's kind of like a shortcut for doing AVC init and then connect and then pulling down a version of the data set. AVC clone just does the initialize for you and then pulls the latest version down. Basically, it's a shortcut for that. But with the AVC get, a moment ago we picked out a particular version of the repo here, but you could also select an individual file or anything you wanted out of there. It doesn't have to be a version. It could be an individual file from that version. So it's actually quite versatile in that respect. So let me quickly see if I can demo initializing a data set for SSH. Let me see if I can do that for you. So SSH is quite easy to connect to. So let me make another. So already in my, I've already got my other home computer connected in here in the SSH config. So now all I need to do is, if I wanted to connect this folder into, make a workspace connected to a data set on the SSH server, I could literally just, let me double check the command is AVC init, and we're going to choose the host that I just showed you, which is pop OS, and then I've created a folder over there, which is going to be.
You don't even need to say that it's SSH?
No, you don't. No, just literally just give the name of the host and then the location of the data set, and that has initialized data set over there. Now let me open that folder, and I'll put, where are my cats gone? Put more cats in there. We'll grab these cats and put them over here in data set 4. So let's see. And then let me push this. And then that's been pushed to the SSH server. Now let me just demo that it actually exists over there. I think I've got a window here. Yeah, so this is the Pop OS computer, which is on the network as well. And there's the dataset folder. Log in. And then you can see there's the repo on the other computer. So it's just a great and simple tool. And if it was at S3, it would be the same process. So long as you've got, put a repo anywhere you want. There's no limit really. I think that's the demo so far. So as I say, it's I think we're on version 0.9 now. So things are still being kind of worked on. But mostly I think it's great. It's stable. It's getting maintained. So please, we want people to go and try it. And knock on it and show us how they're using it, what we can do to make it even better. So we really want that input from people.
Do you have any plans for creating something like AVC Hub or Data Hub or whatever, like a hosted, like like GitHub to Git?
Yes.
So you can host like all these things without worrying, okay, how do I create a S3 bucket and so on?
Yeah. So the roadmap basically includes some command line enhancements to make it clear about which version of the repo you're working on in the workspace, and GUI versions in the works. So for less technical users or people who just don't want to get on the command line, and then a cloud kind of SaaS version. So something like a GitHub web interface, is kind of down the road. So yeah, we've got plans for it. So yeah, got some big plans.
Be nice also to have some sort of CI/CD, like you push a new version of data and then there is a training pipeline.
Oh yeah, for sure. So, and any feedback anyone has, if you've got an issue, we're taking. We have a Discord forum. So if you're on Discord, I need to send you the link for that, and also open an issue or a suggestion on GitHub, a pull request or a suggestion or a bug report.
How to find it on GitHub? What's the?
It's over. Oh, sorry, it's not over here. That's the link to the home page.
Yeah. Maybe can you show us how to give you a star? That's the important thing.
Yes, please. So GitHub, it's the company account. So it's InfuseAI and then ArtiVC. So please head over there and give us a star. We need more stars, please. Not to beg.
So apart from giving a star, how else can people contribute?
Yeah, so as I say, get over there, make an issue. We're not, we want people to open an issue over there or go into the Discord and tell us, if you're not a developer and you want to give some feedback, you can open an issue on here with just some suggestions, or we have a Discord server, so do it on there. And also we're on Twitter, so just at InfuseAI on Twitter, you can just ping us on there, tell us what you think of it. We really want, as I say, we really want to have feedback, and because it's such a versatile tool, we want people to use it and then tell us how they're using it, so we can kind of make it better for those scenarios.
This doesn't seem like a super simple tool to implement, so I'm wondering how many people work on this tool.
There are about, I think there's 3 guys working on it in the company on a regular basis, and then we've had a couple of great people who have committed some pull requests, and they've been using it over here in Taiwan, and they've made some modifications, which is great. So we've already got people in the community helping out.
That's cool. Do you have any advice for anyone who's listening to this?
Yeah, last time I think I said something like follow your heart or something like that, because I ended up all the way here in Taiwan across the world. And it was a great choice, great life choice for me. I think this time I'm going to say maintain a good work-life balance. So if often I get to the end of the week and I say I didn't, I had some hobbies I wanted to work on, some side projects, and I didn't get a chance to do it. So I would say if you get to the end of the week and you regret not spending an hour here or there on your own projects, next week, make sure you put that hour aside and do something that's not work, something fun, a hobby or something.
If it's not a secret, maybe can you share, can you give us some inspiration? What kind of hobbies we can try?
What kind of
What do you do
hobbies?
actually?
Well,
Yeah.
I like to translate old retro Taiwanese gaming magazines into English.
Ah, that's an
So
interesting hobby.
I'm a bit of a gaming geek, yeah, in that respect. And I also skateboard. So I like, I started quite late in life. So I like to, for exercise, I like to skateboard. For fun, I like to translate Chinese. So I'm, yeah, a bit of a nerd like that.
Good choice. Okay, thanks a lot, Dave. Great demo. Thanks for showing to us. Great tool.
Thank you for
Thanks
having us
a lot
by.
for putting this to open source, making it
Yes.
open source. Yeah. So I
Right.
guess looking forward to seeing you again.
Yeah, we'll be back with PyPrider for data quality and data profiling, hopefully next time.
Okay. Talk
Thank
to you
you.
soon. Bye.
Thanks.